More details revealed about the Tesla airplane. Elon Musk and his enterprises have offered some of the most inventive ways in space exploration and on-road transportation, with all of the breakthroughs we've seen in the previous several decades. But it's possible that the wealthy genius is staring not just at space and Earth, but also at the empire of the sky. Aviation has been the least progressive industry in recent decades, but it isn't because humans haven't devised better alternatives, but it's only because the alternatives would have unprecedented consequences for its financial or environmental viability. So, in this video, I'll go through some of the facts with you. Is Tesla thinking about getting into the aircraft business? What are the advantages and disadvantages of flying an electric plane? How does it get over it? How does it deal with the issues? What are the options? And what can we anticipate in the future? Could electricity, on the other hand, provide an answer? How does Tesla intend to progress one of its most ambitious initiatives, taking flying to new heights? Subscribe to our channel and press the bell button to learn more fascinating topics. Also, near the conclusion of this video, we have some extra information about the Tesla aircraft, so make sure you watch it all the way through. Good day, everyone! Tesla's objectives for the aviation sector are as follows. Tesla aircraft seems to be something that would take a long time to develop, and it is not worth the wait. In contrast to these claims, Elon Musk has indicated that he is considering developing an efficient electric aircraft. Elon Musk remarked in an interview, "With vertical takeoff and landing, you don't need a runway, you simply rocket straight up in the air." What we can deduct from the facts we have is that Elon has repeatedly said that his new aircraft would be a VTOL or a craft that can take off vertically. He also revealed that, based on his interviews, he intends to make it a supersonic plane. However, just looking at the positive side is insufficient to determine how effectively it can function. Another evidence that Tesla is really contemplating this project is that it is looking into the massive issues and developments that are required. Elon claims that the ability they have for a Tesla aircraft is a barrier of efficiency and resources, not only an economic obstacle. Although Tesla is aiming for a full-fledged aircraft, vehicle manufacturers such as Tesla and Hyundai have submitted various studies and patents for a prototype of automobiles that might transport 3 to 4 people via air. Is it better than a regular plane? Our aircraft are having issues. It's not a lack of creativity, but rather a lack of pragmatism and cost. Consider the Concorde, which could fly from New York to London in under 3.5 hours when it was first introduced in the 1980s. However, even while cameras were functional, they had other issues, particularly with regard to fuel cost and the potential harm to the ozone layer. It was double the speed of sound, which meant it was very loud and required additional caution during takeoff and landing. Because of these issues, the trip was abruptly terminated, and we seem to have reached the limit of flying, unless we attempt flying in an aircraft that is powered by electricity. Electric aircraft are powered by batteries and may be much less expensive. In addition, unlike a typical aircraft, it would have lower production costs and lower maintenance costs. According to Musk, he also intends to make takeoffs more efficient by reducing runway length. The flight could virtually lift off like a drone if the aircraft could create upward push that could then be transferred as advancing thrust for movement. Because the upward force may be distributed across numerous propellers, it can be utilized to reduce takeoff noise. This is also feasible, considering the estimated power required to lift off an airplane is just 400 watt-hours per kilogram. Tesla is also aiming to increase the capacity of its batteries. Unlike ordinary aircraft, the Tesla plane would be supersonic and free of the present difficulties. This implies that transportation would be much speedier, with a 50% reduction in trip time. When it comes to Tesla aircraft, we can't overlook some of the obstacles that the company will have to face. The battery would be the most serious issue with any electric aircraft. Elon Musk has mentioned this as one of the most significant obstacles to a Tesla aircraft on several occasions. Despite their strength, batteries can only store a certain amount of energy. Unlike fuels, which can be transported and transferred in a relatively short amount of time, electricity cannot. Tesla is aiming to increase the capacity of its batteries, and according to Musk, there may be opportunities to develop more efficient batteries in the next several years. Then there's the issue that aircraft aren't permitted to make pit brakes. Even if your Tesla car's battery is fully charged, you may need to make a stop or two on a cross-country road trip. the airlines would have an issue not just with battery capacity, but also with safety. Multiple precautions may be installed in a plane's fuel tanks to ensure that they are not destroyed, and even if they are, procedures can be taken to mitigate the severity of the damage. However, since the electric aircraft is still in its infancy, there is just insufficient study and certifications to give a safety mechanism if the battery fails. It's also a lot more costly to check for flaws in the batteries on a regular basis than it is to inspect the gasoline pipes on a standard aircraft. If anything goes wrong during taking off or landing, the conventional aircraft may dump gasoline to avoid explosive damage. However, if a battery catches fire, there's no way to get it out of the aircraft and away from the passengers. Almost all of the issues have a remedy. We humans will find efficient and easy solutions as long as there is time. This is to be anticipated from Tesla, yet the difficulty of an electric aircraft isn't as severe. It has previously been shown that supersonic aircraft can take off from a vertical takeoff. Electric aircraft may potentially be able to traverse short distances at a speed of fewer than 40 kilometers per hour. Is it a phrase you've heard before? Yes, when electric vehicles were sluggish and had little mileage. This was precisely what people said. Then Tesla appeared, and the world of electric vehicles was forever transformed. Planes may be treated in the same way. Musk also indicated that in order to solve the challenges, he intends to combine Tesla's facilities with SpaceX's aeronautical experts. This will also serve as a much-needed educational resource for an electric aircraft that no one else possesses. He also suggested that flying automobile prototypes may be realistic. Furthermore, the most serious battery issues are being addressed on a daily basis. Not just EV, but also appliances and technology need smaller but more efficient batteries, and the attempt to develop efficient batteries is being explored from various angles. When the battery issues are resolved, the first electric aircraft will just be a question of testing and certificates. Consider how much time has passed since computers were invented. Back in the 1980s, computers were massive, but they used a lot of electricity. It may now be as thin as a MacBook while providing unrivaled performance as compared to older laptops. It'll only be a matter of time until we see the same trend with batteries. Tesla also succeeds in introducing a new power source. Instead of charging from the ground, powering the aircraft in mid-flight would be more feasible. There is, however, a solution, and it is known as solar power. Solar panels with high efficiency might potentially offer a backup power source for the Tesla plane, and it would be just as efficient as a regular plane's backup fuel tank. Granted, Tesla will have to rebuild the whole solar panel system in order to achieve maximum efficiency. It is, at the very least, theoretically possible. However, not all ideas for the EV aircraft come from Tesla. Some answers for the EV plane come from environmentalists. Specific research has been funded in order to build efficient electric aircraft, and the greatest part is that they are open sources. Let's take a look at how far Tesla has come and how likely it is to deploy an electric aircraft. Estimating a specific date for the Tesla aircraft is difficult. However, scientific advancement in the area of electrical solutions, as well as the enthusiasm that the idea must have sparked, may be utilized to estimate when the product will be ready. According to studies, we might witness a smaller and more efficient battery in 3 to 4 years. After that, presuming Tesla begins to accept orders, at the very least, Apple should begin to create a plan for the machine. It would take 2 to 3 years of testing and research to create a viable model. However, there are still several aviation approvals that must be obtained before the aircraft can be mass-produced. This would add 1 to 2 years to the timeline, and Tesla would need another year or so to get the plane to market. Furthermore, it may take up to a year to develop new procedures for an electric aircraft, which could take up to a year. When you add it all up, you'll have to wait about 8 years to witness supersonic electric jets glide over the sky. You may also anticipate the aircraft carrying a huge number of passengers and goods, as well as being more efficient. You may also anticipate the Tesla aircraft to get a lot of official approval and funding, since it will assist countries to transition to greener modes of transportation. Government aviation agencies may collaborate with Tesla, much as SpaceX does with NASA, to make flying more efficient, effective, and affordable. However, if you're looking for incredibly inexpensive airfares, you may have to wait a few more years. Tesla would still need to recoup the money it spent on research during its early years. Is electricity capable of assisting in this situation? With one of its most ambitious initiatives, Tesla hopes to take flying to a whole new level in the near future. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click the notification bell button to stay up to speed on all things Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk. Have a wonderful day.